I raised you to be free. I bled for your liberty. I dreamed of your wings. But now, I watch you hide behind screens, behind slogans, behind fear. I was your mother, your land, your home. Now I barely recognize the children I once cradled in my soil. I was born in defiance, forged in fire and rebellion. My voice first rang out in Philadelphia, echoed in Gettysburg, cried in Selma, and thundered in New York on a day the towers fell. I was never perfect, but I was proud. I was the promise written in parchment, the song sung in stadiums, the hand over heart at morning light. I raised you to be free, to speak, even when your words trembled, to gather, even when the streets burned, to question, to challenge, to push the arc of justice forward. But now, you whisper instead of shout. You conform instead of create. You apologize for truth and bury your convictions. What happened to your fire? You fear your neighbor because of a vote. You fear your employer because of a post. You fear your government because of your questions. You fear your future because it no longer feels like yours. Fear, it's in your schools now, where silence is enforced louder than gunshots. It's in your churches, where sermons dodge truth to fill seats. It's in your media, where outrage sells more than answers. It's in your laws, where freedom is traded for control dressed as safety. And in your own homes, you raise children afraid to dream, afraid to speak, afraid to live as boldly as I once taught them. You weren't made for this. I gave you the wild skies of Montana, the restless waves of California, the stubborn steel of Detroit, the sacred soil of Virginia. I built you with broken backs and brave hearts, with immigrants and inventors, with slaves who became soldiers, with women who roared, and farmers who stood firm when the world collapsed. But look at you now. You burn your cities, erase your history, mock your heroes. And you call it progress, but it feels more like forgetting. You confuse freedom with feeling. You treat offense like oppression. You silence dissent, then wonder why the echo chambers feel so hollow. I raised you to be free, but freedom was never comfort. It was never safety. It was never censorship wrapped in care. Freedom was danger, the noble kind. The kind that lets people disagree and still break bread. The kind that lets you fail, fall, rebuild, and rise. Do you remember that kind? I do. I remember a boy from Georgia who marched without armor. A girl from Kansas who said she wanted to fly, and did. A soldier who wrote home about hope between gunfire. A factory worker who never finished school but raised 5 kids with dignity. They weren't afraid of living. They were afraid of not living free. And yet now, in your fear, you lock your minds. You self-censor your souls. You outsource courage to convenience. You live in fear of being wrong, fear of being seen, fear of being different. But freedom requires all those things. And I can't protect what you won't defend. You want me to save you, to fix the hate, to fix the price of bread, the cost of dreams, the weight in your chest. But I am not a politician. I am not a platform. I am not a slogan. I am America, and I was never meant to save you. I was meant to free you. But freedom without truth becomes tyranny. Freedom without responsibility becomes chaos. Freedom without love becomes fear. And that's what I see now. Fear in your news, fear in your art, fear in your silence. So I ask you now, when did you stop believing in me? When did liberty become a burden? When did truth become taboo? When did fear become your flag? I raised you to be free, not because freedom is easy, but because it is worth it. So don't let my stars fade. Don't let my stripes become bars. Don't let my name become a whisper in the land I gave you. I'm still here, but I am tired. I am trembling. And I am watching. You used to fight for me. Now you fear each other more than the chains I once broke. I raised you to be free. Please, don't teach your children to be afraid of that.